example for you today to show you how to read strings and integers and how to do some nice formatting, a very simple formatting. So you'll have mobile phones. You can see there that the date is formatted in different ways. You can display it using dashes, you can display it using slash or backslash, colon or commas, and so on. So we're going to learn how to write a simple formatter for the date. We're going to ask the user to enter the day as an integer, the month as a string, and the year as an integer. To start this, we're first going to create a new project. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. So we want a new Java project. Time formatting, finish, create a new class here, and finish. Okay, so I cheated a little bit and made Eclipse generate the main method for me. Again, because we're going to be asking the user to enter some data, import java.util.scanner. Since we're using the scanner class, we have to declare an object of the class scanner. We're going to call it input, new scanner system.in. We're reading from the system input, which is the terminal. Now we're going to need a few variables, so we'll need a variable for the day, and let's declare this as an integer. We'll need a variable for the month, and we're going to ask the user to enter the month as a string. And whenever you're declaring a string variable, you write string. You always remember string begins with a capital letter, the name of the variable, and the assignment. And in this case, we're going to set it to null. Null means nothing. It's kind of like 0 for integers. Null is the same for strings. And we need one more variable for the year. So let's set that to 0 also. Let's print out the message to the user. Enter the day, month, and year separated by space or new line. So let's read the day. The day is an integer, so we're going to use the method nextInt from the scanner. Next thing, we want to read the month, and the month is a string. So there are different ways we can read strings in Java. One method is the method next, which is gonna read the first word. That is, it's gonna read all the characters, including numbers and punctuation marks, until it reaches a white space. Or we can use next line, but if we use next line, then it's going to read everything until the end of the line, and it's going to actually include the year in the month, and we don't want that. So let's use the method next. The method next line can be used, but if we ask the user that he or she specifically enters the day, the month, and the year in a separate line. So, and what's remaining is year input dot year is again an integer, so let's use next int. So now we've read these three variables, and we just want to print them out nicely. And we can do different ways of formatting. So for example, maybe we want to print the month first, then we want to print the day. Then we want to have a comma, and here we actually want to have a white space between the month and the day. So let's add the white space there, comma, and the year. Let's do one more formatting here. So this is a very simple formatting. We're just using print line. There is a method called printf, which is way more powerful for formatting your output. And we're going to learn about it very soon. So let's say maybe we want to print day plus, so we're going to print it in the European way, the way in Europe people write it. So we're using slashes here. Save that and let's try and run it. So what will it happen if I enter 20 March 2013, and you will see here that it will display the date nicely formatted. So it looks quite good. So you might be wondering what will happen if we entered a number for the month instead of the name of the month. So let's try that. For example, let's say 23 2013. Well, it works kinda. Maybe this is not a common way of displaying the date, but it does work. And why this works is because the method next that we use for reading the month, it doesn't care whether we have numbers or letters. Any of these is considered part of a string. So it's gonna read everything starting from here until it reaches this white space here. And actually we can even enter a bunch of nonsense and it will treat it as the month. So let's try and do that. Let's just randomly type some data for the month, and it's gonna work again because we don't have a way to check whether that's a valid month that was entered, and we're gonna learn things how to check for things like that in the future. For now it's just useful to see that this next method is gonna read everything from this position until it reaches the white space. If we try to enter nonsense data for the integers, like if we try to enter characters, that is definitely gonna cause an error. So let's try and do that. So let's do AB March 2013, and we're gonna get an error. So this is an exception. Exceptions like this are common when you enter the incorrect input. So here you usually start reading them from the bottom, and you can see it's complaining that next int was not really working correctly, and it tells you on which line that happened. It actually happened on line 12. That is when it was trying to read the day, because we entered the day as 2 characters, and that's definitely not an integer. So thanks for watching. I hope this will be very helpful for problem 4 from your assignment this week.